Hello everyone, welcome to my channel, Time to Travel. I go by the name James Dose, and today I'm going to talk about Kamala Harris shedding tears upon her visit to one of the historic sites in Ghana. Before we go on, kindly subscribe, like and leave a comment to support us. If you remember, quite recently, US Vice President Kamala Harris visited Ghana on a political assignment, and upon going through with her assignment, she visited some of the places in Ghana which told part of the story of the people of Ghana. And boy oh boy, was she emotional. She became so emotional after her tour to the extent that when she was giving her speech, you could feel through her voice that she was very broken. And this is the reason why we keep encouraging so many people, especially the blacks in the diaspora, to come and visit their roots so that they will get to understand what their forefathers went through to be able to get them to where they are today. Kamala Harris visited the Cape Coast Castle. So if you don't know, the Cape Coast Castle is located at the west coast of Africa in Ghana. It is located 13 kilometers and 8.6 miles away from Elmina Castle, which is another slave castle. The castle was originally built by the Swedish in the 1650s. The English took control of the castle in the year 1660. After then, it was shifted into Danish and Dutch. The castle was built purposely for trading of gold, wood, and textiles in the early decades before the English merchants began to seek captive Africans in large numbers as slaves. So the English merchants began to use the castle for Africa-Atlantic slave trade. It was used to hold slaves before they are loaded into ships to sell to the Americans, most particularly the Caribbeans. Dungeons were added to the Cape Coast Castle to hold larger number of captives. The Gate of No Return was the last stop before crossing the Atlantic Ocean. I don't want to talk much about this Gate of No Return because that's whole episode in itself. During the 18th century, most of the Cape Coast Castle trade was among the Africa captives born for Americans. These slaves became workers for the people they were sold to, and with time, some served in the military units, learned skills, and some into the trade, and this provided a bridge between the Europeans and African cultures. Britain legally abolished the slave trade in 1807, and the Cape Coast Castle has since become a tourist and a memorial site used to educate people on history of the people of the motherland. During the Honorable Kamala Harris, the US Vice President visit to the Cape Coast Castle, she wasn't able to hold herself when she was going through the dungeons that she became so emotional. She paid her humble respect to those who suffered and died during the slave trade. She laid flowers down on the dungeon where female slaves were kept. Kindly subscribe, like and leave a comment to support us. See you in the next one. Thank you.